All right, 38 Special versus 9mm and short barrel handguns. What do people really want to see? You know, I listen to my viewers, I listen to my subscribers. And what most of the time when it comes down to is a lot of people are really interested in concealed carry. You know, so what I have here is some 9mm and some 38 Special gold dot to really get down to the nitty gritty of, well, how do they really compare? How does 9mm typically compare with typical ammo versus 38 Special? Now, with our 38 Special, it's a 135 grain plus P and is a short barreled load. The 9mm is a 124 grain plus P. It's not a short barreled load, but from the information I found on this, they really don't make it anymore. At least you can't find it, and it's basically the same ammo as the short barreled one. As where our 38 Special plus P is not quite the same as their 125 grain gold dot. An interesting thing about this is one of the ammo types that is often seen in ammo that can be used by law enforcement in backup revolvers, is that particular load. They qualify on it and all of that. So we're going to see the difference between 9mm and 38 Special, how they really stack up. So I'm going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time, what kind of energy numbers, and I'm going to do my 10% clear ballistic test. And we have 4 layers of denim followed by 3 inches of clear ballistics to represent hitting a pectoral muscle, followed by a 1/4 inch medium density fiberboard to represent hitting like ribs or sternum, and to more clear ballistics. I'll do a shot with this medium density fiberboard, and then I'll pull it out, and I'll do a shot without it, because with the MDF in place, it's kind of like hitting a chest on a human, and without the MDF, it's kind of like hitting a gut shot. So we'll see the difference in a practical short barreled ammunition, what the difference really is. And then I'm going to shoot from probably a little bit of a more practical distance. A lot of people like to see my 10-yard shooting, because really you're probably never going to shoot further than that in self-defense with a concealed carry short barreled handgun. So that's something people have really been asking for. So I'm going to get started with this test. We'll see how these two really compare. All right, by the way, I'm using my 2-inch barrel Taurus 605 and my 3.2-inch Taurus G2C. Both have the same amount of barrel travel in those guns. Both these guns weigh 20 ounces on my scale loaded, so they should be pretty close comparison. So first up, we have our 9mm. I'm about 5 yards from the target, 4 yards from the chronograph. Let's see what kind of velocity we get with our 9mm 124 plus P. 1189. My earplugs aren't quite in right. Let me put on some muffs. All right, we'll keep going. 1189 for our first shot. 1164. 1206. 1183. 1189. So really consistent, good velocity. Let's see how our 38 Special compares. All right, 38 Special, a little bit heavier bullet. Let's see how this will do. 821. 835. 849. 850. 823. So pretty low velocity, but really consistent. Easy to have a consistent number you can kind of remember. So did pretty well. Let's set our ballistic gel block and see what we get with these rounds. All right, first up we have our 9mm. We're going to go through our 4 layers of denim, 3 inches of clear ballistics, a 1/4 inch MDF, and to more clear ballistics, our chest shot simulation. So let's see how our 9mm does. All right. So here is our MDF. This would indicate somewhat moderate expansion. And what we got here is we got a damage path of about 16¼ inches, 16½, something like that. Not a whole lot of damage in there, but let's take this MDF out here. We'll do our quote-unquote gut shot with it, and we'll see how that compares. All right, our 9mm with no MDF, just our gut shot. Let's see how this will do. All right. All All right, so we definitely got a lot more damage there, but we can definitely see just by looking at this, we're at about 19¼ inches penetration. That's a little bit over penetrating, not by a whole lot, but just a little bit. So let's see how our 38 Special does. All right, 38 Special through our MDF, our chest shot. Let's see how our 38 Special compares to the 9mm with our short barrel load. Less felt recoil on this particular gun. All right, so we got a lot less penetration there than the 9mm. We're at 12 inches after going through our MDF. And our MDF here looks pretty similar to the 9mm, not really any difference there. So 12 inches is not too bad. Let's try it without our MDF, just our quote-unquote gut shot, and see how that does. All right, just our gut shot simulation. See how our 38 does. All right, that's interesting. We got expansion with the MDF shot, but not with the plain gel shot. However, our damage is still pretty good in there. So that's something we're seeing here. You know, bullet design, hitting something a little bit harder does allow for that low velocity round to expand pretty well. But just velocity alone, hitting just regular tissue without something hard, no, we're not really getting expansion. And we're looking at 18 inches to 18¼ inches. So it's kind of hard to judge. Just our 9mm definitely had more power, dumped more energy there, but penetrated just a little bit more than what you want. Our 38 pretty much was on par, but maybe a little bit less damage. So overall, both are looking pretty good. Let's see how our practical accuracy does from 10 yards. All right, 10 yards from the target. Got my Taurus G2C. I'm just gonna kind of pull this gun up, see if I can get a sight picture and pop off a shot, and see how that feels for me in these guns. Not too bad. Out of ammo. Let me do that again. All right, let me double tap. All right, let me shoot faster. All right, not too bad overall, really. So let's see how our 38 Special will do. Kind of the same thing going there. Got one round left in here. A quick sight picture. Oh, hold that one. Let me try that again. I think they're shooting high for me. Let me aim at the base of that target. Yeah. That's not good. That's interesting, because I normally shoot revolvers pretty good. So there's something about the point of impact and aim with these particular rounds that's just kind of off, which is interesting. Let me just get it center mass hold there and just pop them off. All right, so just something about this round. I think it's just the bullet weight and slow velocity. Sometimes you get a little bit of muzzle jump and that bullet will come out kind of like that because it's so heavy and it's slow, and it kind of it'll bolt it over the top of your target if you're not careful, even at 10 yards. So something to keep in mind here. But overall, what we're seeing with our ballistic performances, I'm going to say both did pretty much the same. Now, obviously, our 9mm had a little more damage in the target, but that came at the cost of going a little bit beyond that 18 inches that, you know, the old FBI protocol and the IWBA protocol, you know, they just, you know, 18 inches in various types of gel. This is not organic gel, but still, I'm just going to look at it at face value that I think both did pretty well, except, you know, one didn't expand. The one that didn't expand was the 38 in the plain gel, but the 9mm over penetrated in the plain gel, so kind of a wash there And through our MDF, kind of a wash too, because we didn't get over penetration and both kind of expanded. So take it for what it is. That's what you get. That's your overall look at your average performance. And this really is, I've done a lot of testing. That's your average performance of just run-of-the-mill 38 special ammo versus something like 9mm+P. Now, if you went to something like a Buffalo Bore Underwood 38 special, that changes it, because you can get numbers of energy up there to what the 9mm had out of this and 38, but it's kind of high ammo. So that's what you get today. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.